Hello and welcome back to Behind the Podcast. I'm Brandon.
I'm Moose.
I'm Weston.
I'm Moose again.
I'm Weston again.
He's not Brandon again.
We do this like every time.
Yeah, a little bit.
We need a new shtick.
Everyone listens and goes, "Oh, you guys think you're so funny. Haha, you do this every time."
I don't think I'm funny.
You guys think you're so funny.
What are we doing today?
Today we are talking.
Playing games? Doing things?
We're just gonna free form. We're just gonna talk about talking.
Okay.
Talk about talking.
This
Podcast is entirely about semantics.
Mm-hmm.
Well, semantics, discussion, linguistics. What are we?
I'm gonna make a lot of couch movement noise. Oh yeah.
At least Miguel's not rubbing himself.
All right. I'll rub Miguel for him. Yeah.
What have y'all been playing lately?
I beat Final Fantasy X. Did I say it in the last one?
I don't think so. The last one was just miles of
E3, and I hadn't beat it at that time, so no. So I beat Final Fantasy X HD Remaster, and I 100%ed that sucker.
Yeah. You were really proud of that.
I don't know that I'm proud. I got out of
prison. You seem proud. Oh.
It's more like I've been released from it. I don't know, I just had this drive to beat it. So I beat Penance, who's the hardest guy in the game, and I beat Nemesis, meaning I killed at least 10 of every single monster that exists in the game, individually. Yuna can one-hit kill every one of her Aeons, inject and whoever with her little melee tap. And, yeah, it was only 120 hours, which is a lot, but still not that much compared to, like this guy you could put 500,000 million hours into. There's no such thing as a cap, really. Just numerically. But, yeah. It's weird. Those bosses, have you done any, like, super ultra bosses like that?
I did, in Final Fantasy VII, I did Ruby and Emerald.
I don't know those.
Oh. They're super ultra bosses.
Describe them to me.
I think Ruby is the one that's in the desert, so it's a giant thing in the desert, and it has a move that it really likes to do that erases you from the game.
Okay. What does that mean?
It basically I think it's like what do you call it when the sand collapses below you? It's like quicksand, but like a sinkhole, a quicksand sinkhole. So he does this move where like a quicksand sinkhole appears below your character, and they just go underground, and then they're gone.
Gone for the battle.
Yeah, they're not dead. You can't revive them. Yeah. They're just erased.
10 has that too.
And so he likes to do that. So you pretty much have to constantly be wailing on him, while at the same time also having all of your characters like equipped with auto cast spells for auto revive and like auto heal and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And then you do all of that, and then he erases you. Because you can't auto revive. Auto Phoenix doesn't work if you're just erased.
Yeah.
So he's a really difficult one. He's also got like 999,999 health or whatever,
Yeah.
And then Emerald is the one that's underwater, and so before you can even try that battle, you have to auto equip a spell that makes you breathe underwater. Otherwise, you're on a 5-minute timer or something like that.
Interesting. That's odd. That sounds kind of cool. That sounds like a little bit more unique than 10's. 10's Penance was just... And Nemesis. They're just patterns. You learn the pattern, which, by the way, the guides online are crap. Also,
you could probably make one now with what I saw.
I've got the guides right there in front of us.
Yeah. Oh,
the real guides, not the online crap guides.
I don't know that I looked at Wikia. We were just talking about this, but Wikia, especially on your phone, I just request desktop site, and it works way better, but it still doesn't work great. Wikia is a really crap website. I don't understand why. Like, I appreciate that they have all the information on it. Yeah, it is true.
It's because
their ads throw me down constantly. Like, I wait like 5 seconds to try to click on something, and it loads a new ad and puts it in front of me, and it feels really weird. What's that?
So this one's Emerald.
This is Emerald. Okay, I was thinking it was just literally an Emerald.
No, it's just green.
Check out Penance. Google Penance.
And then that's Ruby.
Oh, he's like a dragon with really long arms.
Mm-hmm. He's got like tendrils that appear behind you as well.
Okay.
Penance?
Yeah, penance. FFX penance. So the deal with penance is you have to kill both of his arms and keep them killed, but you can't kill them too fast or else they come back and kill you. And they're capable of insta-killing you by themselves. Mm-hmm. And you have to have max stats or else you never get a turn. If you don't have maxed... so luck goes into agility and evasion. No, it goes into accuracy and evasion. So if you don't have a high enough accuracy, you'll never hit anything. And if you don't have high enough agility, you'll never go fast enough in order to actually keep up with him. Because he goes as fast as haste, and you need auto haste. So you need armor that has auto haste, auto potion, auto... I can't remember the other ones. Oh, auto protect, because otherwise you can't survive any of his hits. And that's on top of max stats. So you have to be super crazy. And I made like custom weapons for him and everything. So
yeah,
it took like the whole game of lead up time to be able to fight him. But then it's just it's not called patience, perseverance. Mm-hmm. That's the name of the achievement, is perseverance. And I'm like, okay, so you just knew it. Because once you do it, there is no game. You're not being tactical. You're just following an exact pattern until he dies. Mm-hmm. And you do 99,000 damage or something per hit, and he's got 12 billion health, I believe. Mm-hmm. So it took me like an hour and 10 minutes or something to kill him. And it was just me sitting there with my phone. I have a note and just marking down little tallies until I eventually killed him. So that's my most recent gaming thing.
Now that you beat 10.
I started 10-2.
You're going to do 10-2 now?
Yeah, I like 10-2.
When I first heard about 10-2, I think I mentioned this before, I was kind of like raised eyebrow.
Yeah,
kind of like, that sounds really strange. And I saw how it played out, and I was like, this is really cool.
I was also a teenager getting hit hard by puberty, so the eye candy was nice as well.
Girlies.
It was a really girly game, but at the same time, there was fan service. Yeah.
That's fair. Mm-hmm. What are you playing?
Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Nothing at all?
Nothing.
Wow, okay. Brandon is kicked out of the podcast. I got kicked out for every time I didn't play something.
What was I doing? I was doing something on Steam. I did I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but I did some more Starbound I was playing with my cousin.
Oh, no, I don't think you did.
Yeah, so we tried out the beta channel to see what was new and stuff. It's pretty good. Y'all should get computers so that we can play Starbound.
What do you mean, y'all?
He has a computer.
At least one of us
I am
here
the most
should get a computer
of the people here.
This is true.
Yeah,
I am maximum computer.
Yeah, Miguel needs to get a computer so we can play some games.
Yes. We'll all build it together.
Starbound's been pretty fun. I like that. What else have I been playing? I know I've been played. Oh yeah, I went back to Minecraft. I was playing some Minecraft.
I was thinking about going back to Minecraft again.
I like the modded Minecraft, so I've been playing the Feed the Beast Infinite pack.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
it's just a mod pack.
But I mean, what is it?
It's a pack of mods.
Yes,
yeah. What do the mods do?
I can't list.
There's got to be
80
some.
Of
what
the mods.
is a feature about some of them that you like?
There's got to be a reason why you like that versus vanilla or versus something else.
Because it includes practically every mod known to man.
Okay, so it's
just a massive mod pack. Yeah. It's got the
you
magic.
Just do everything.
It's got the magic mods. It's got the tech mods. It's got the, weird mods and the good mods and the fun mods and stuff.
Okay.
I hate Minecraft mods now. Just because I had to make them for a summer.
Yeah.
Like it was literally my job.
So don't make them anymore.
I don't, and I didn't
before. You taught a whole
before.
bunch of little creeps to make them.
No, actually, a lot of them were okay.
That's good.
But they did have. No, they were kids, so it's gonna happen. But a lot of them, it's very, very hard to convince people of their own creative ability when you're like, even if you think it's because they're worried about being dumb. You worry so much about being judged and that your idea is stupid or worthless that you then they come up with a stupid, worthless idea by copying somebody else, and you're like, or it's just such a joke that you're like, isn't there anything you think is cool? Isn't there? And it's fine if you want to be like, I want to mod Zelda into it or something. That's fine. But I'm talking about like They're like, oh, I made ruby armor. I changed every diamond texture to be red. Okay, guy. And you're like, all right, well, what's next? And he's like, no, that's a whole total conversion mod. You're like, no, it's not. You're like, sure, great if you aesthetically like that, but you did nothing. You really didn't.
You did nothing.
You uploaded like 8 textures that all you did was hit a filter in Photoshop. Like, no. Sorry, kid. You need to do something for real. They don't even have different stats. At least change the stats on them.
Yeah, make it different.
So, that's very hard. And a lot of them were decent programmers, but they just... It's really funny how 12-year-olds can be as good programmers as people I've seen in college. Like, honestly, I think these kids could get jobs at 14 if our culture worked that way. Like, they'd be able to be just as good, maybe better.
I had a job when I was 14.
Programming?
No, I was a dishwasher.
Yeah.
I know.
That's what I'm talking about. Like a $80K a year job these kids would be capable of doing.
Yeah.
It also ticked me off because I felt like I could do it too. and I don't.
And you don't.
Yeah. So maybe not. But, yeah. How's Starbound going? Is there anything cool that's new in it that you like, or what?
They changed up a lot of stuff, and they added a lot more variety to the monsters now.
Okay.
The monsters have a bit more personality to them.
Like, do they fight different now? Or okay, that's good, because they kind of all felt like there was 2 of them. It was like ranged and melee.
Yeah, they have different. They have sort of a variety of different abilities or strategies or personalities, and then they're not if you go from planet to planet, they're not the same monsters over and over again anymore. There's more randomization to them.
Cool.
Same with weapons. They redid the weapon system, so now they can sort of generate weapon combos like Borderlands does. So you got like the head of the weapon, the handle of the weapon, and some other thing like a special ability or an alt ability and stuff like that. So you get like a battle axe that you can block with, or a battle axe that you can lob electric with, and stuff like that.
Interesting. What have you been playing, Miguel?
I've been playing Star Wars Battlefront pretty nonstop for the last 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks ago they did another preview, even though it had already been released, of the first DLC, just kind of like getting people ready for the second batch of DLC that dropped like just over a week ago. I wasn't sure because I'd never really played blaster first-person shooters, and that was just weird to me. And when I first picked it up, I wasn't that great at it, so I put it back down. But recently I picked it up, and I've just been going pretty hard at it. I really like the new game types they added into it. Both the new DLCs each have new game types, plus they all have like 4 or 5 extra maps. So there's a lot of stuff in it. So I went ahead and dropped money on the season pass because
each DLC has 4 maps.
Yeah,
That's a lot. It only had 4 maps, so
no, there's a lot of maps.
I mean, to start with, no, indoor.
Okay, so that's 4 environments, but there's multiple maps with each one. There's like 3 indoor maps, and I understand
it's one map that they cut up.
There are some of them that are a little different.
I know
that don't have all the sections.
I
understand. I mean, the amount that I've played on them, they're significantly different for some of them. Like the 2 indoor ones, like sure it's the same environment, but
I know, but like the old school Battlefield was a huge map.
Yeah,
and it would contain itself to a lot of avenues, but those other methods you could take a squad out, flank around, and totally change the way the battle is going.
Yeah,
that's one problem I feel like I have in Battlefield. I actually really like Battlefront, whatever.
Battlefront.
I actually really like Battlefront, but it always feels like, I hate to call it Stormtrooper because that would make people be like, well, yeah, duh. But it feels like you walk in a straight line to your doom and hope you outshoot the other asshole. And it's like, I play tactical games anyways. I like to have if a shooting game does not allow flanking, I don't think it has very good gameplay.
How much Walker Assault have you played?
played a lot of Walker Assault, and there are moments of flanking, but then generally they respawn
map,
on you right at your flank and you
the
die.
map the map and spawns change, and the area where you could move through is
No,
restricted.
I know they changed. I've been Darth Vader on the Hoth Assault.
Yeah.
And guess what? At least early on, the hero it doesn't register the hero in terms of where the spawns go. So I stood there and realized that the reason why I'm killing so many people is because they're spawning right next to me in droves.
Yeah.
I killed 47 people before they took me down. And I was like, I had like 8 times the score of somebody else. I have a screenshot of that somewhere. And I was just like, wow, this was... And man, the number of people calling me gay was incredible. It was my team too, because they couldn't get any kills as Darth Vader was just standing there mowing down rebels. I just threw my sword continuously.
I don't know if you can actually hear the other people on communicators on the Xbox, because that's off on
Not on communicators. Text.
Oh, y'all doing okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of them communicate on text and PC. So what are the new maps? What do you got?
So the Outer Rim has actually 2 different environments. There's another part of Sorsub, which is from the original one, but it's different. 2 different sections. That factory. So it's the foundry and then the pipeline outside, and that's it's a lot of fun for the new game type, which is Extraction, which is asymmetric gameplay. It's kind of like an old first-person shooter assault type where you're trying to get a something to the other side of the map.
Capture the flag.
Not quite capture a flag like Assault, like trying to play football with a thing, trying to touch something down over there, but it's just a giant moving platform of supplies. So you have to protect it all the way down. Kind of like an escort mission.
Payload.
Yeah, payload.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, it's worked out really well. They designed the maps that I think that they work. It's fun, but what you're talking about with flanking is, there are checkpoints, and the map, the accessibility to the map changes, where things are out of bounds on the map that are not later, just because they're trying to restrict the battle and stuff to one side of it. There's pros and cons with it, that way they can restrict the spawns and people from sitting there and spawn camping.
It makes
a bit.
I know why they do it. It makes it very easy to balance a map.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I feel like most of the maps are balanced, but I also feel like it's really lazy. Because it does make it so easy. You're like, oh, well, if I just don't let players do things, I don't have to plan around it.
Right.
So why don't I just not let players do most things?
Yeah, don't run around over here. You can't be, back over here, even though you want to, because that's great cover and people won't have to look for you, and then you'll just snipe them from there. But
yeah, hilariously, you can get around that and actually flank people if you have the jetpack.
Oh yeah,
because you just sprint 5 seconds in and then you blast, and so you do this kind of like triangle maneuver.
Yeah,
and get behind them.
Yeah, I mean that's all the game is now. It's just like, oh, everyone has jetpacks.
It is only jetpacks.
The mobility is really powerful, and it's really easy to get to. It's
actually necessary, because otherwise you're too predictable and easy to shoot.
And some of the maps are so big and open that you have to have that. Otherwise, like you said, you're just walking a straight line to see if someone shoots you before you shoot them.
Yeah, I like some of them are going to be interior maps, right? Like really claustrophobic maps.
So the next DLC is Death Star, which I imagine is going to be another fighter squadron outside, and then probably a lot of close quarter combat inside.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that, because I'm more about the close quarter. Bespin, the most recent DLC, has lots of large open, because it's Cloud City. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of outside, and they're really big and sprawling and open. It is a sniper's dream.
Yeah.
There are interiors. There are interior parts. There are ways to get around. The new game type, Sabotage, is really cool, because there's three gas drain areas you have to go and destroy, and then you have to go back and defend your own control point. So the game type switches from the team trying to defend 3 spots, and then you having to defend 1 spot at the end of the game. So it's actually kind of cool that it is asymmetric, but you're not fully always on offense or defense on that. It switches, throughout the game, or from the start to the end of the game.
It sounds interesting, and I want to play it. It's huge. It's huge. You're on Xbox One, but it has to, it still installs, right?
Yeah, it was like a 10 gig update.
Yeah. No, I think it's something like almost 50 gigs on my hard drive now, which I don't have that room to spare. So I've taken it off recently.
It's big. If I have complaints, I know that it's been reported that the Xbox has longer load times than some of the other platforms. The most recent update made the load times pretty terrible, almost unbearable, to the point where I'm like, I don't want to play this anymore. It's like, oh, you get to play now.
Yeah.
Like just that moment of breaking. They've changed the way they do some of the updates. Your score updates a little bit differently. There's no more critical kill assists. You just get kills, or it'll tell you assists, and you get a few less points, and they still count as kills on the main screen.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's really weird. You don't have kills and assists anymore. You just get kills that everyone can see, and then afterwards, when it shows you your own stats,
the definition of a kill is different.
Yeah, and so then afterwards there is a second kill, and it shows you the kill count.
Mortally wounded.
Yeah, and it only shows you the kill count, and then it just shows you the number of actual kills it's counting towards you. So that, I don't know if people get all butthurt at people taking their kills or something, I don't know, but it's really weird now. You look at like a blast game, your standard free-for-all, or team versus deathmatch.
Team deathmatch, yeah.
And if the score's still 100, your team can have like 180 kills because it's counting assists that way, and it's really hard to see who's actually done anything on the team. I know I like data, and I don't like the way that they show the data to you, and I think that the update has made it worse, even though they're showing you a little bit more.
Yeah, I do feel like they do a good job of giving you points for stuff. Also, man, so there's a couple of things. The thing that Battlefront is the very best in, that like no one ever was, is their fidelity to the movies.
Oh, yeah.
And how, and it is original trilogy only, and it looks so good. The heroes look a little weird.
There is a little uncanny valley on them.
Bit.
Like we're at the point where we expect it to be a little bit better.
A little bit.
But
they didn't do terribly.
Every now and then when I'm looking at it, it's like, it's okay. Like I see it and I'm like, all right, that's fine.
Well, like when Darth Vader or Boba Fett shows up, I'm like, oh god, that looks so good.
They do look good.
But then Han
because they don't have
walks up,
faces.
Yeah, they don't have faces. And Han walks up and I'm like, he's a little wrong.
Yeah.
And he kind of looks a little fat to me.
Yeah, there's a little pudginess in his face.
There's a little pudge in his face. Like
he's got that's not quite right, and Harrison Ford never looked like that. So.
Not during the movies,
not
right? When
movies.
He got older, he did. And so it kind of looks like they modeled him off of like one of his movies like 10 years later, as time marches on for all of us. And I'm like, no. Han Solo is like maximum attractiveness Harrison Ford, and he needs to look it.
Yeah.
When I'm being cocky and holding one hand off, it's got to be good. And Luke looks pretty strange too. I hear they're updating the costumes to be appropriate for I'm surprised at how much I care about that, and I'm also surprised at how much everybody else actually cares about that.
It was really interesting
Luke
because
needs to be Hoth when he's in Hoth, or else.
Well, he has that now.
No, he does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I did see that update.
Yeah, when that came through, and that was actually quite a bit ago that it was like that. I think.
Yeah,
because I remember that Ben being the one that actually changed when he was in the different environment.
Yeah.
No, the one thing that did make me like immediately be like, yes, I need to get this the season pass. They had just done the update, and I was playing, and all of a sudden I see some dude running around as Lando Calrissian, and I was like, I can be Lando.
He's got a good
back out of the
voice
game
too.
Pay right now for it.
Whatever voice actor they got for him nails it.
Yeah,
like totally nails it. I've heard
great.
people complain because he's a little bit flatter, but it just sounds like Lando is a little bit tired. It doesn't sound like he's
like
a different person at all. And it's just like, oh, we've got to fight the city or whatever. I can't do it. I can't do an impression, but he's good. That made me want to do it too. And then they also had that Dengar, right?
Dengar. Yeah, Dengar came in that update too.
And I'm like, oh, we're getting into the obscure.
Dengar was a little broken when he came out.
Oh yeah,
because he has this explosive rush, which literally he just runs by you, and everyone who runs by that moment, he tags with a grenade.
Oh, wow.
So you can just run through like a whole bunch of people and just blow them up.
That's a big
but
spike.
he actually did a disproportionate amount of damage to Luke that way. Like, for whatever reason, if you tag Luke with a grenade in that manner, it like really screwed him up. Yeah,
that's really funny. I never play as the lightsaber guys because I feel like they're actually a lot worse.
I've seen people play as Luke and Darth Vader and do very well as them.
I have too, but you have to pick your battles.
Yes.
And
you have to be really good at kind of observing everything going on and being where you are so you don't get surrounded.
The thing about being a hero is if you're playing against good players, you need to be Han or Boba Fett.
Yeah.
If you're playing against bad players, you get to be Lightsaber Man and kill all of them. And it's super fun.
It is really
super
fun.
Cool.
I'm either terrible at Luke or I'm just terrible or I'm just playing against really good people because I just get murdered.
At this
so
point, you're
hard.
playing against good people.
Yeah.
That was my problem when I got back into it again. Everybody knows everything and everything where everything is, and so I get no power-ups. I absolutely hate the way they did vehicles and heroes. It's stupid. It's unfair.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. And it's just so Spurglords can get what they want constantly. And that's what it is.
Yeah,
you have to memorize where
thing.
it is, and you have to understand how the thing works, or else you will never get to be a hero, ever. Carter has played for probably 20 hours with me, and he's never been the hero even once. Because...
On a different game type. Like
Yeah.
where you have to pick it up.
Where you have to pick it up, yeah. Whereas I noticed that people who got it would be sitting in the back, and so I sat there and watched them, and then I ganked it from them.
Yeah.
And that is Battlefield 1942 territory. I don't know if anybody in the podcast remembers this era of PC gaming.
I do remember this.
But Battlefield 1942, everybody wanted the vehicles, specifically the airplanes, which were very hard to fly. Nothing flew like them at the time.
Right.
And so... I picked it up again recently. It was difficult.
I never got it down. I was not.
The Spitfire was so hard to fly because it actually had like a lot of air push up when you were diving, and if you didn't compensate for it, you'd stall, or like you wouldn't be able to pull out of it in time. And people would just sit there and wait for the airplane and kill you the moment it spawned so that they could take it on your own team. It happened every time. And then if you did get the airplane before them, they'd either shoot you out of it or just blow the whole airplane to bits. Because they wanted it so bad. And that was like such a problem that they had to make airplanes invincible when they took off so that you couldn't do that to them. That was the only thing they could do. And it was like entirely to protect from team killing. Because of what a problem. I don't think they actually got around to that till Battlefield 2. I think Battlefield 2 is the one that introduced that. But then the problem was that if you had a base lockdown, which was a thing for carriers, you did lock down carriers. Yeah. That was part of the game. It screwed that whole mechanic up because then they could just leave and then instantly be in the air and shoot you down before they could shoot back, which is a bummer. But yeah, that's... EA, yeah. I don't know. They did such a good job with the fidelity of the game. If they had taken any risks at all in the gameplay, and I don't know, they didn't even have to take risks. Like, do the exact same way Battlefront 1 worked. It worked well. Or Battlefront 2 is universally heralded as an incredible multiplayer experience. Yeah. And they threw every single thing that they learned from Battlefront 1 to Battlefront 2, threw it out the window. And we're like, we're going to make Bad Company again. With Star Wars.
It's essentially what it is. It really is.
It really is just Bad Company. Okay.
Which is fine. It plays well. You know, I enjoy it, even though every time I play, I'm usually screaming about things I hate about it.
Yes, that's what I noticed. I think back to it and I want to play it again. And I realized that I really like playing by myself and just looking at things. You can turn off UI elements. So I turn off all the UI elements.
Yeah, that's why I wish I could play it on PC.
Well, I think you can do it in the settings on the Xbox. But the
I'll
deal
check.
is,
I haven't actually looked for it. But yeah.
The deal is there's not really very much aiming down sights. So you don't have any cursor. And you have no idea where the objectives are. And so you cannot play that way. You can just watch that way. And so I do hero mode with Boba Fett or something, and I'm just like on easy.
Yeah.
And it's gorgeous and amazing and so much fun. And then I turn on all the UI elements for multiplayer, and somebody's just... I get homing missiled every 3 seconds, and I get a jetpack over me every 3 seconds.
Jetpacks, sure. I haven't seen people use homing missile a lot recently.
Oh, and it's... Well, at least when I last played, it was the thing you had. It was just a free kill every single time, and so you just... And there wasn't anything else that was as useful
weird.
as that.
If you're using cover and stuff, it tells you you're locked. You just get behind something from the direction, and you should be fine. Because it gets on track really fast, like at level, and so... There's no really shooting around corners or anything with it.
But that's the thing. A lot of the... Well, so when I matchmaked, a lot of it was the... The new planet from the new movie. I forget it already.
Oh,
J something?
Jakku.
Jakku. It has really long lanes, and
That's
you can
fair.
stand really high.
When
and
we
there
play
is
on
no
that
cover.
one, yeah, I guess if you're high enough, that's fine. I guess where I play a lot is probably on the I don't even know which direction it is. I can't even give a direction on it. But there's one side where there's a lot of stuff to hide behind and stuff. There's lots of dunes and things to run around, but people usually run around the long side, so it's really hard to find them because there's lots of sand in the way.
Yeah, I also play a lot of Walker Assault, and Walker Assault tends to have higher, bigger lanes of fire since a walker has to walk through it.
I have mixed feelings about Walker Assault.
Me too.
I like it until I play it, and then I get super angry.
I like it until I have a whole team of teammates who don't seem to understand the objective.
Yeah. I think that's what it really is that I always seem to be on the team that doesn't know how to play.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so I
me
just
too.
get lots
Every
of defeat.
time.
Like, every time I'm just looking at it, like, the walker's at, like, 80% health at the end of it. And it's like, we had one walker, guys. One. We're playing on Endor, and there's only one. Just
I never understand that because it feels like... It feels very selfish, but I'm very... Not anymore, but when I started a lot of it, I was very frequently all the way at the top of the scoreboard every single time. And we would lose almost every single time, and I'm like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I don't have the most kills. I have the most score points.
right.
Like,
Objective.
I have the most objectives and score points, and then I have like maybe second or third most kills.
Yeah.
On top of that, and I have like 3 times the score of the next highest person. I'm like, okay, all right, crappy team this time. Everybody talks about that. Everybody is like, oh, shit team. I don't want to be that guy. And I play it again, and then I play it again, and then I play it again, and then I play it again, and I'm realizing that I think people play together with like 6 or 7 of them each time, and they all go after all of the objectives coherently and together.
Yep.
And so as an individual player, I'm sitting there last manning it where I'm in the middle of a trench and I kill 5 of them. 2 more of them are still going after the objective. They take it. My teammates are dicking around at base trying to become heroes.
Yeah, they're running around haphazardly, just doing whatever they want individually. No one stays together if you can't talk with them.
Yeah.
And you don't work together. And we've seen that. I've seen, clearly people who are in a party. They don't have a clan thing up, but they're clearly in a party together doing a thing.
Yeah. It's funny. To me, it feels like competitive video games are for teenagers during summer. That all their friends can get on, and they can snowball wreck everyone. And that's what it feels like. I can't get more than 4 friends together ever, and it's really hard to get 4 friends together for me. All different schedules and things like that, and I don't even work so.
Yeah, I'm at the point I won't play Walker Assault unless I'm playing with at least one other person.
Yeah,
like I have to have at least a teammate so that we can try to go to an objective together and watch each other's back.
It feels like that's what shooter games are now, though. It's just bio-balling.
Yeah,
it's just like I know people who get together with their friends on Thursday, right? Mm-hmm. And they're like, okay, our adult life is on hold, like we do for D&D, right? Yeah. I guess that's the thing. We do it for D&D, and everybody else. Oh, well, the prime demographic for these games. It's like Thursday night, we all get on Call of Duty, and then we all go and shoot everyone together. And we'll wreck this one night, and then all the other nights we don't play or we just don't do very well. And it's just kind of the way it goes now. And games don't seem to plan for that, especially Battlefront. Battlefront's all about, if you have a coordinated team effort, you win everything. So, I don't know. It's enough Battlefront, I guess.
That is. I mean, I could probably go on about it for a while, but I will say this. I do find that when I'm playing with my friend, we're usually at the top of like Blast or other game types, and we're not that good.
Yeah.
So it's really fun to see just how sometimes people are just running around dicking around. We were trying to do a contract, one of the HUT contracts. You can get other things in the game by just completing certain achievements.
Is it like kill 10 of these guys or win 5 of these?
It's like get X kills with this thing and also get 10 headshots and also like that together. If you get all of those together while you have the contract, then you get another card. Access to a much more powerful card than what's available in the game. It's kind of cool. You get some cool stuff. Yeah. But one of them was to get like, I don't know, 10 or 15 kills with a scout pistol.
Yeah.
And so you have to get super close with that. So we were just
Yeah.
dicking around with the scout pistol, and we still came out first and second place.
Yeah.
Like while everyone else is using blasters normally on a map, we're just like running around jetpack behind somebody and just get them with that pistol. So
If you're playing that often enough, I may just get it for
Xbox.
The only problem is I'd have to get the season pass too.
Yeah, that's like.
Do you have an
that's a
Xbox
lot of
One,
money.
Wes?
Yeah, I do.
He does.
Man, it is covered with dust. Like literally, I cleaned it. I took it to Katie's because she was finally gonna play it, and I gave her a monitor. I gave her in quotes. It was her monitor.
Right. You took her monitor.
I took her monitor for like a year, so that she could play it. I set it all up and everything. But like in doing so, I was like, oh my god, this Xbox One is the dustiest thing I think I own. Like I have a Nintendo 64 and an original Nintendo and a PS2. All of those get like exponentially more use than my Xbox One. I pop in, and I only have 2 games for the NES.
Yeah, I think I've played like Battlefront like 10 out of the last 14 days that I've been, in town.
Yeah.
I was on vacation for a week, and I still played Battlefront 2 days. So
Okay, well, if you're playing it that much, I'd really like to play it with you. I know you're not going to get a PC anytime soon.
I'm hoping to in the fall.
Soon.
In the fall, yeah, it's
Fall's
soon.
too far away. It only just became summer, and we're in Texas. Fall doesn't exist, so you mean never?
Well, fall is winter and spring, right? Like that's how that works.
Yeah.
I will eventually, but I have stuff to pay for, so not right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You playing anything else besides Starbound?
Do you like first-person shooters, Brandon?
I do not like first-person shooters. I don't like first-person shooters.
I have a love-hate relationship with them.
Third-person shooters, first-person lightsabers.
Do you play Fighter Squadron at all?
Third-person lightsabers.
What do you mean first-person lightsabers? Is that a thing?
I'm pretty sure there was at least one light Star Wars game that was first-person, wasn't there?
I cannot think of it.
That's like not a flying game.
And I can think of most Star Wars games. There's probably one freaking obscure one I'm forgetting about, but I know most Star Wars games, I feel. And I don't think there's even the Kinect one. You could argue the Kinect one, but I could argue against the Kinect one because in fact it shows you phased through your person and your person goes in and out of opacity, but it's still third person.
Yeah, I could be misremembering. I'm remembering a game that I didn't that I played for a little bit.
The arcade version had a first-person lightsaber moment, but all it was you wiggling the control stick left and right, and that was it.
So it was an original Xbox One that. I don't remember much of the game. All I remember is a Imperial corridor with the robots, the little robots,
Talking about the torture droids?
No, they're just the regular soldier droids. They're the really light skeleton ones that walk around and they have
you're just talking about
the
battle droids.
Yeah, little battle droids.
That's like all they're
they
called.
go around going whack, whack, whack.
Yeah. Roger, roger.
Yeah.
I am comic relief.
That
make sense.
That
it's
might
kind
not
of
have...
scary.
And it also had the rolly ones.
Droidicas.
Yeah. That one might have been third person, though. I don't know. For some reason, I remember it as first person.
It's a standoff. Let's go.
Or I think you could switch between the two modes.
We have got to start playing some Star Wars games. I have like 30 Star Wars games. I don't want us to beat them, but I really want us to play them.
Do you want to do a series of Star Wars? Because we could do that even if we don't play the entire game.
I do so
just
bad.
do like a series of episodes of each of the games.
We just do like a day's worth and that's it. Like
a day's worth.
Oh, we have to play all
well, a
24 hours.
A recording session's worth, which is usually 4 or 5 episodes.
4 to 5, yeah.
For us.
For each one, I'd be
also
down for that. I think that'd be fun to add in there.
You don't think you'd want to complete the games?
I would. I don't think you would. Some
Well,
of them
I
are downright
I
torture.
don't have to be the one completing.
I think it'd be fun just as a
There's 3 of us.
Yeah.
As a gaming through the ages kind of throwback kind of idea to actually go through all of them because that's a long span of time of a lot of games.
Yeah, it's not like a proper series. It's all these different. I mean, it's a lot of LucasArts, but it's a lot of different developers.
Yeah.
A lot of different teams.
We'll put that on the list.
I like that.
Put it on the list.
Last thing, do you play Fighter Squadron at all? On Battlefront?
No. So when I started, the trick was use a controller, because if you use mouse and keyboard, you're an idiot and you will lose. Because it's not that you're an idiot, it's that the people who designed it were idiots and had no idea that the balance would be that hard, because I guess they never even once decided to play a player with PC controllers versus a player with Xbox controller. Because you only have WASD, which have, no sensitivity, right? And when you press down, that means it should probably turn as hard as it possibly can. It doesn't. It does it about 50 to 70%.
Oh, wow.
Meaning
so
that
you're like a boat.
I can do 2 loop-de-loops, almost 3, for you doing it 1 as a PC player. I am so much more mobile than you. It's disgusting. And I also have, sensitive acceleration and braking. And the other thing nobody seemed to understand when I started was if you brake, you can maneuver faster.
How do you do the acceleration and braking on PC? On, like, keyboard?
I don't remember.
Because
Because
on the controller it's right stick, up and down.
Oh, I have it assigned to the triggers.
So you up and down with the triggers. Okay.
Yeah, and then I use the bumpers to shoot.
Fire?
Yeah. But
what do you use for your alternate?
Alternate?
Yeah, for your
I don't
torpedo and
remember
for your
anymore.
other ones.
Well, no, like torpedo's left bumper, regular shooting is right bumper. And
Okay.
then there's like Y and B for the skills it
You
has.
push, yeah, okay.
But yeah, I used to be really good at it. And then I played it again recently, and I'm as good as everyone else, which means that... Oh, also homing missiles? Yeah. So...
Yeah, that's what I was asking, because my right bumper's homing missile.
Well, I just...
Those are the skills, like left, right.
No, I mean
bumpers.
homing missiles from the ground.
Oh, playing like in a game type.
Yeah, playing in a game type, you just...
A different game type, like not Fighter Squadron.
No, not Fighter Squadron. I don't think I have Fighter Squadron. Or I never saw it.
Yeah, it's been in there, dude. You should. It's just Air Battle.
I'll check it out.
It's like a separate game.
I'm just really bummed that I can't play in first person mode and be competitive. I wish they had track IR capability.
Oh god.
And it doesn't feel... It feels really goofy, right? It feels like the movies where you see people explode left and right constantly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then there's the hero moment where Boba Fett's ship comes in and it's like 3 miles per hour. And if you get behind him, they almost never come after you if you're directly behind them because they can't do anything about it. You're too maneuverable as an X-Wing. Or an A-Wing. And you're just like... I fired for maybe 10 minutes straight. Just... let go, let it cool down, fire again for 10 minutes, let go, let it cool down, fire again for 10 minutes, fire my missile. So boring. So boring. There's nothing more boring than following and hitting a guy for 10 minutes. You feel like a child hitting your dad, being like, Daddy, no, Daddy, no, Daddy, no, Daddy, no, Daddy, no. Dad's just walking around getting coffee. He's fixing breakfast, and you're like, I'm nothing to him.
You need a
right
party
now.
of people that are playing together who are actually going to play to that. It's like he comes out,
I know, that's why I want to play with you. I can plan all of this, and I will 100% play it with you. If I can get a copy of Battlefront for
cheap.
if I can get it for like $20 and then get the season pass, I'll get it.
Get it? Don't get the season pass. Just get it and see if we play first.
Yes.
And then if you do it and decide you want to play that,
I don't have
go to
Xbox
do
Live
that.
either.
Oh my god.
This is the worst. This is the worst thing about Xbox.
Yeah.
Xbox is so cruddy. You just, you need no cross. Well, soon.
You don't have gold.
Soon.
You get gold.
Cross-platform. Will you need gold when they go full cross-platform between PC and Xbox?
Probably.
You need gold to play online anyways.
Not on PC. And
Right.
Not
But on
and
Xbox.
I can play with people on Rocket League, on Xbox, and PS3 on my PC, and they're
Right.
paying premium shit, and I'm not.
But we're talking about the Xbox. So yeah, you'll need the gold to play with those PC people.
I'm asking if PC people will need gold.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Okay.
We hope that's not the way that it goes, because if it does, that's going to be...
If it does, I think they're going to see a lot of drop-off of people.
Oh, yeah. People just stop playing.
Well, I mean, Xbox is already on PC, and you don't need gold to do any of the stuff that they've got on PC right now. So,
Right.
I can't imagine them making that. It would be a stupid idea for them to make that change.
They've had a lot of stupid ideas, though.
They have.
That they've committed to. So we'll see about that.
We'll see, but that. I mean, the games y'all are talking about, those are already out, though. They're probably not going to be switched over. If they do, it's not going to be anytime soon, most likely.
It was just reminding me of a talking point rather than me thinking of a solution to our problem.
Who makes those? LucasArts is gone now. Is it EA
made these.
That's what I thought.
EA published DICE made the...
Yeah.
So those are never going to get updated then?
No.
No.
No, never. Unless they give you a $60 unlock fee.
If they were going to change it anyway, they would have fixed a bunch of stuff that's broken with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just about...
They did do a patch recently that fixed a lot of things that were screwed up from the Best Bin update, but it's still kind of aggravating.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough about EA, DICE, and Battlefront, I think.
Yeah.
There's some games that I've been wanting to play though. The Fire Emblem has just been nagging at me lately. I really want to get into Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I haven't played any of those games.
I don't really like Fire Emblem very much.
Which ones have you played?
The one on the DS and one on the Wii. I don't remember their names. There's one where you mate up your people and they make babies and then their babies come from the future.
I think they're all like that.
Oh, really?
That's why I want to get into it. It's got really interesting mechanics. It has permadeath.
Mm-hmm.
So your characters die, they're dead.
So I thought that was interesting too, but all it means is you reset the damn game.
Well, see, I don't like to play like that, so...
Well, you also fight way, way, way more cautiously than you otherwise would until you have OP characters. Yeah. And then you just obliterate everything. It doesn't matter anymore. And then the game throws something new at you that you didn't understand and doesn't explain it very well, and you lose the character, and you're like, well, that was shitty. Reset. and that's it. You don't lose anyone when you play the game like a normal person until they throw a new mechanic that they don't explain to you, and it just feels like fake difficulty. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like it really adds anything to me. It just adds time rather than enjoyment.
Yeah, I want to give it a try though, because
it's fine.
I think that's an interesting take on the RPG. Because normally in RPGs, you could just keep reviving everyone for infinity. But then Fire Emblem, there's permadeath. Until
Aerith dies.
Yeah, until Aerith dies.
It's Phoenix Downer, man.
That's where you just Game Shark it. Come on. But yeah, Fire Emblem with the permadeath, but they also have the mating, like you said, and you can sort of have the relationships and everything. And
I find it really uncomfortable, that part of it. The idea that if you just stick two people next to each other as they fight, that they're gonna bone. Guaranteed. I mean,
that's
every time.
That's just how nature works.
It's
fighting next to a woman makes babies.
It also frustrates me that when I'm trying to play a tactical game in combat, I'm literally caring more about their personal drama than I am about the battle at all. I don't remember anything about the conflict in either of those games. I don't know who we were fighting. I have no idea. I don't even know who... Prince Crom was doing some bullshit to someone doing something, but all I know is they boned a lot of people. And that's it. That's all there was to that game. And so the story was nothing because you spent the entire time worrying about these little individual stories, and those aren't very well written or anything. It's not like, it's not like BioWare does, where you've got interpersonal relationships. It's just like, I don't like you. You're kind of a big stupid head. Oh my god, he's actually really kind. Babies. That's it. That was the whole story.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to give it a try though, and I've heard a lot of people tell me that they are actually really good games. So,
well, they've been making the same game for 20 years, so it should be good by now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the battles itself, it's a tactics battle, right?
Yeah, it's a grid-based one of those.
Yeah, so
I don't like those in general, so I kind of...
I've never really cared too much about tactics battles. I mean, they're fairly simple to do regardless. You don't have to put much effort into beating a tactics battle.
Yeah.
So it's always the things that they add on to the tactics battle system that I like about the games. Like Disgaea is a tactics battle system, but it's got a lot of humor and it's got a lot of stupid, insane combos and special abilities that you can use. And so Disgaea is really fun, even though it's, a simple, the actual battle system is a simple tactics battle with some, but the stuff they added on top is really fun. So I want to try that. Did you ever play Final Fantasy Tactics?
No. I have it on my PS Vita and I haven't played it yet.
Wow.
It's on my list.
I've never played that one either, but I've got it. I've got the Final Fantasy Classics.
Yeah.
For the PlayStation.
PS Greatest Hits.
Yeah, so that one's got Tactics on it, and I want to play that one, but I haven't yet.
Well, you know what?
I've just got a Tactics craving right now. I need to get back to finishing Disgaea, I think, is what I need to do.
That's the true. I just, those types of games for me, you know which one I did really like? Advance Wars. Oh. Advance Wars is kind of a grid tactics game. Mm-hmm. I
had friends who played that.
I played that.
And it was really...
Yeah, I played that in school. You could play it on the Game Boy Advance with one, and you could play 4 players with one. You just keep passing it around to each other. And we did that when we finished our English final. That was before they really cared about phones and games, and now I'm showing how old I am. But, they were just like, Game Boys, don't have it out during class. But during the final, he was like, yeah, sure, read a book, do whatever, I don't give a crap. So we passed it around.
I don't think that was before they cared about that. My school cared about that.
No, my school now is insanely... You're not allowed to bring phones into... They have, lockers for your phone.
Yeah.
Not your books and things. It's, literally, they have a check-in at the front where they write down whose phone is what, and you give it to... It's crazy. Who cares? Nobody cared when I was in high school about any of that nonsense.
Googling the answers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's also another part of it, right? They're much more powerful than when we were...
Yeah.
I couldn't do jack on my cell phone was the very first color cell phone.
The case was in color?
No, the screen was in color, but it must have been about 50 pixels by 50 pixels.
Wow. The cell phone I had in high school was a Motorola StarTAC with an LED screen. And not an OLED, just lights on, a matrix display. Not a matrix display, but...
Yeah, most of my
like
friends...
a clock.
I mean, mine was...
digital clock.
Mine was top tier immediately. But my mom's cell phone was during, the later part of high school was the Razor, right? You remember the Razor?
That's what I had.
Yeah. Well, you're a cool kid, huh?
I started off with the Nokia brick, and then I got a Razor.
Mine was a Nokia.
I had one of those in college.
I don't remember what it was called, but
and then I had the same Razor all the way up until I moved to Austin.
Nice. My friend threw my own phone at me, and it hit me in the chest and exploded into a million pieces. It just came across, but it just came apart. It didn't break. But the screen went flying out, and the buttons went flying out, and the front and the back and the battery. And he was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "Why?" And I just reassembled
it back together,
turned it back on. I actually really missed that phone. It had really good feeling buttons. You know, when you pressed it, you were like, click. You know, I really liked this.
Gave a little feedback back, and it was just you had to push down a little bit on it, and it was
yeah, it was good.
I liked it.
You could I could also turn it off without looking at it, in terms of I could pop the battery out at any time, so it wouldn't make the noise. Because almost always they would make noise, right? They'd be like beep boop boop boo or whatever, and Samsung and stuff do it too. Yeah. And that was really useful when I forgot to do it in class or something. I'd be like, I could just reach in my pocket and flip the battery out. It'd be going.
It's off.
Yep.
Silently.
I was always really rough with my Razor. I'd hold it by the joint, to open. I'd hold it by the joint, and then fling it open, or I'd throw it in the air, and it would twirl itself open.
My mom dropped 3 of them into toilets.
Oh,
because she always had them in her back pocket.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, she was. It was pretty funny. She couldn't get them anymore by her own admission because of she couldn't get anything that could fit in her back pocket because then she would put it
in her back pocket.
Yeah, so luckily she's a tiny person, so not much fits there. But
yeah. Mine lasted a long time. It worked for a long time, and then I moved to Austin, and then shortly after moving to Austin, first the the T9 autocomplete stopped working, so I couldn't type anything longer than one letter. So all of the contacts in my phone were just letters, single letters.
That's like KB.
which was really annoying when I had transferred them to my new phone, and I was just going through my phone book and be like, who's C, who's K, who's T.
That's funny. I didn't text until junior year of college.
Yeah,
I took forever to get on that bandwagon. I really did.
I did it immediately as soon as I had once I broke my StarTAC by throwing it at the door.
Yeah.
And I actually got a phone that I actually do stuff on. Yeah, texting like crazy.
I actually had a BlackBerry that was my mom's, that she just gave to me, and it had a full keyboard on it, a full QWERTY keyboard, even though it was only like,
yeah,
it was a tiny little brick, but I still never texted because of public, what do you call it? Public show of what those people were like who texted all of the time, right? And it was, OMG, I cannot believe that is G8. It's great. And I was like, that's really stupid, and I don't want to be a part of that. And so I just didn't do it. But also I didn't have anyone who was, like, texting a lot.
The way that marketers seem to think that the youth
I know.
are... What is it? There's a whole subreddit to that. What is it called? It's reddit.com/r/ I think it's Hey Fellow Kids. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Hello, fellow kids.
They do that at E3 too.
They do.
Ubisoft's done that a couple of times, and some of the other ones, and it's so bad. Where they have the kids out there and they're like, oh hey, I'm a stereotypical teen. Oh, such
It's also really odd when you see like kid actors who are then having to act in that way because
they don't act like that.
They don't act like that normally. Yeah, and
they don't think to themselves, I should tell this marketer that he's an idiot.
Well, I'm sure you can't, right? Like, I'm sure they wouldn't even listen to you.
You're just a kid. What do you know?
You're just a kid. What do you know about what you actually do in your own life? That's really typical of. That's really typical of adults. I'm gonna say no, of like business people.
I imagine it would actually be more like, oh, you're just a dysfunctional teen. That's why you're an actor. You don't know what real teens do.
Yeah, and our data set is skewed by you. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Hey, fellow kids, I recommend you check it out.
Yeah, I might actually. I had something else that I was playing recently. One of the things I discussed in the last one where we talked about all these different games that we were interested in. Mm-hmm. I finally got Spin Tires.
Oh,
the mudding simulation, and I got it for a good enough price that I bought it for 3 other people.
I actually I don't think we've talked about Spin Tires yet in any of the podcasts. I know it was on the list,
I mentioned it, but I mentioned it really fast. We were talking about like simulation games at that time.
Yeah, you talked about it.
So I got Spin Tires off of Indie Gala, which now I think might be a gray market site that does really well at not pretending to be gray market. You shouldn't buy stuff from gray market sites. I know that you save money, and I know that it makes sense, and obviously I just did it, and then now afterwards I'm like, was this thing a gray market site? Oh well, I got it for $9. It's $40 all the time. And I was a little peeved at them because it's been out for 4 years now, and it's still $40, and it's still in early access.
Right.
And so I'm like, guys, being kind of a cruddy developer right now, and playing it now, there's several new maps. There's like 4 new maps since the last time I played, but I played in college. Like, I've been out of college for a while. It's anyways. Besides that, 4 of us playing, I can't seem to get 2 of my friends to ever stay on for more than 30 minutes, and so we get like very little time into the game, and then they quit, and then Carter and I finish out the level by ourselves. But man, I feel like I'm really, really good at this game. And every time a new person pops on, I have to explain what a differential is and how all-wheel drive works. because it's important.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, I'll just have them on all the time." And I'm like,
No.
"No, especially not differential lock,
Right.
and also especially not four-wheel drive because we run out of fuel. Four-wheel drive uses a lot more fuel, and so it's just interesting. I've been having such a great time playing that game, but it is really funny. It's one of those games where when you've played it for a while and you're better at it than somebody else who's very new to it, and you're watching them as they're trying to figure it out, and you're able to do things that they are just not able to do. Like imagine like Super Mario 64. Imagine if that was 2-player, right? And you're like, wow, whoa, whoa, jump, jump, kick, ooh, a backwards jump on a ledge, and then you sit there and watch for 15 minutes as the other person tries to do that. That's how it feels because I mud along. I go to the correct way. I use my winch if I need to, which I very rarely need to. I usually pick my paths and use the correct settings to get through stuff pretty easily. And then I sit there and watch them get stuck, and then I come back and I tow them out.
And then watch drive off.
And then I drive off again, and then I have to come back again. And so I'm going back and forth there. I'm not even like getting stuck at all. I've gotten stuck a few times. It'll still happen. But it's super fun. I have to say, it's so hard to describe spin tires and why it's fun to people. Why is pulling each other out of the mud so fun? But it's one of those games also where you're with your friends and you are just laughing. You're just laughing. I flipped my log carrier truck the first time I drove it, and I had big logs in the back of it, and Carter was just driving by. First he was driving by, and then he was like, I want to watch this. And he stops and he just watches me as I'm trying to get across, and I'm like leaning, and he's just, and I just hear him over the microphone just like screaming to himself like, oh my god, this is the worst. And then finally I flip, and we spend 15 minutes using the tow winch, and he had just a little Jeep and I had a giant logging truck. And so he puts some slack in the winch, and then he just like guns it all the way to the side, and then as he guns it I try to turn the engine on as I'm upright and like get my wheels going. And man, it's just so fun. If you're gonna get into spin tires, I will say you're going to hate the camera until you get used to it, and then you will very much like the camera because you realize you're not going fast enough that you actually need to see 20 feet in front of you. It's just not relevant. And so because you really never can see that far in front of you. You're always looking at your truck. The camera is totally focused on just you, not what's in front of you. So it's a very odd choice by them, but I can see why they did it, and it was very good. And I have to say, the game is very good. I really wish... It's one of those games where you're like, man, I just wish there was more game here. You made a great game. I want more. So
I want to go over and check that out sometime.
Yeah, I thought about buying like 4 more copies of it just to throw at people, and people who thought that they didn't want to play have been having a good time with it. Like Ethan, I think, did not think he was like, I'll humor you, Weston, because I play all the MOBAs they want to play. I absolutely hate that entire genre of game, but I play it with them because they want to play it. I am the martyr of the group, and so it's very nice that he at least played like 3 or 4 hours of it with me. But yeah, I really recommend it. Now that I have it, I really recommend it. It's everything I wanted from it. It's everything I thought it was, which is very rare in a game these days for me.
Yeah, how much did you spend at any gala to get it?
$9 per copy.
Okay.
And I have 4 copies. But that's kind of... I feel like that game is a $20 game.
Is it on Steam?
Yeah, it's on Steam for $40.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it right now on Steam sale, you know how much off it is? $4 off. What? $36 to $40 is not a difference. It's
that's crazy.
It doesn't... You can't... You're like, oh, but that's like...
That's the DLC for a different game.
That's half.
On sale.
That's half of a lunch, but you have to spend 9 lunches to get it. To save half a lunch, it's not a savings. It doesn't matter. That difference is unless you only have $36. That difference is completely moot. Whenever they do sales like that, I know why they do it. It's because if it's on your wish list, it alerts you, makes you think about it. It's free advertising. And I really hate that. I thought about if I ever make a Steam game, I want to make it pretty cheap, depending on what it is, and offer 1% off sales every other week.
All the time.
Yeah. But I think Dead by Daylight is doing that. I get alerted by it every single week. Every single week I get
That's probably what it is.
I think they're doing that on purpose. I think they've figured out that
system. Yeah,
because I've been thinking about that system. Somebody who's developing surely has
must
noticed.
have. They're paid to think about that.
Yeah,
well, Steam also puts the games on sale themselves without consulting the developers.
Yeah, they do frequently, but they also frequently work with them when the developer's like, "I'd like a sale," and stuff like that. So,
well, like the Steam summer sales and winter sales and autumn sales and 4th of July sales.
No.
And
how long it would
Friday
take.
sales.
Speaking of the Steam summer sale, has anyone purchased anything on it?
No.
I put stuff on my wish list.
Is there anything you would like to buy right now if you had the opportunity to?
I got a couple of things on my wish list that I want to get.
And you know my reason for not wanting to buy anything right now is because I can't play anything right now because my computer sucks. So there are some things I could probably get, like you guys have been pushing me to get.
Don't Starve.
Don't Starve.
I don't. It's another one I'll play with anyone, and I'll have enough fun doing it that I'm not going to say it's a bad game.
But it's just...
It just has a bad progression. Like, I thought I was just bad at playing the game. And like, it's one of those games like Terraria or Starbound that you're like, wow, I can't believe that I took so long getting through Tier 1. Haha. No, that's just Don't Starve. It just takes you forever in a neon, and sometimes you just literally cannot. It's physically impossible because it doesn't spawn in your favor.
It's one of those games where you never have downtime. You have to constantly be harvesting or building. It sucks because
you have a camp to build. And you never have the downtime to do it. You just run all the way back to base, and you're like, slap, use it, get out of here.
But that's where they have Don't Starve Together now. So if you have multiple people, the progression works out a lot better with multiple people in it.
Well, I played with 2 people, and...
With Don't Starve Together or with the other mod?
Don't Starve Together.
Okay.
Together.
Because on the regular game, you can put you can join other people's worlds by building the gateway. But you have to play for a little while to get to that point.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. It just feels like they didn't play it a lot. Or that they just thought it's really fun to not get to do things. That sitting there and looking at something in your inventory and being like, wow, if only I could get that, is great when you literally never get it.
I don't know. Maybe you're just playing with the wrong people.
I looked up guides, and I followed the guides, and I got the things, and I got to, like, I had all the alchemy labs and all of that stuff, and it just always felt like... It also felt like they didn't help as much as they should have. It was always this terrible, terrible struggle. And by the time you get anywhere close to being like, I'm okay. I think I'm okay now. They up the difficulty on you. They do that before you get to that point. So you're always like, all right, I'm getting towards my goal. I'm screwed. I need to get my goal now, and then I need another goal so I'm not screwed. And then you either barely make it by the skin of your teeth or you die. But that journey is really good the first 8 times you do it. And then you see the code in your eyes and you're like, man.
Yeah, I never played the game to beat the game. And I think that's the difference. I wasn't going through the guides and being like, oh, this is how I go.
Yes.
I was playing it more Minecraft style, where I wanted to
experience.
Yeah, just go around, explore the islands, and build little bases. And
Minecraft style for me is get all of the top tier stuff as fast as I can.
Yeah.
While having little work camps in different areas.
That's what. Yeah. So
and
that's
then
what I do.
build my palace.
So I put stone fire pits. Somewhere on each island, and I set up a little base camp, and I've got a main base camp in the center. And when I play with another person, usually we're just sort of exploring together and collecting the stuff. It's a lot easier to collect everything you need with 2 people or 3 people. Because you can be like, oh, go find some boulders and get some gold, and someone will do that, and I'm going to go get some berries and bunnies and stuff.
Well, you'd think so, but, Carter and I were playing, and he was a robot who didn't have to eat, right?
Yeah.
And...
He can't be in the rain, though.
Can't be in the rain, but he did
I like playing
just
Robot.
gather food for me. And him doing nothing but gathering food on the one map where we did it this way, he couldn't gather enough food for me by himself, being one man, getting all of the food he possibly could. The map spawned us really roughly. It was very
Sometimes
difficult.
you get really bad RNG and you're in a bad map.
Yeah. But there's like no way it compensates for that. And like Minecraft can compensate for that, and Terraria and Starbound all compensate for that idea. Whereas that one gives you just the RNG and you're kind of screwed. But
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun to play together, and if you can play with more than 2 people, I'm sure it'd be way better.
Yeah. Well, they do. I mean, they try and help you out because they have the wormholes. They added the wormholes in. And
Right.
so if you get in a really bad place, usually you can find a wormhole somewhere, and that'll give you an opportunity to come up somewhere better.
Yeah, new RNG.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or just a different... Well, it's the same map, but it's a different area of the map. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep, it's not... It's...
But it's fun.
It's not-
3 of us could probably take it.
Yes, and I think with 3 of us, it might actually be really fun.
And then we could download the One Punch Man mod and...
What? I was going to say what's with you in modding, but for the last thing of what I'm playing, the very last thing, I'm playing Skyrim. Again, I have 213 mods that take up 45 gigs. The mods do, not the game, by itself. And that's compressed because I haven't checked it uncompressed. So most of that is 4K resolution mods because I got a 4K monitor. So excited. They finally came down to a level that it was still like $300, but that's I can pay that for a major tech and size upgrade, and that's actually really helped with editing videos. I can see all of the frames. I can see them. I see the frames, and so instead of being like, what, these 2 frames are directly overlapping. I want to move that one right. Oh, I moved it 5 frames to the right. I wanted to move it 2. Now I can be like, no, it's 2 frames. But to be fair, if you don't have good eyes, you need a giant monitor. Or you need to sit like with your face against it, because I have to say that like the start button on Windows is significantly smaller than half. I would say it's about the size of my pinky finger nail. Like, it is tiny. I don't have very big hands.
You have to increase the UI scale.
Yeah, you can, but all of the games, like you play MechWarrior, doesn't scale up the UI for you.
No.
And some of the games don't have that option, and
Yeah.
so you're just like, where is the exit button? And you're like, I couldn't play some of them if I didn't do it, and some of them don't use that space very well. Like, I'm excited for new games that are going to use all of this UI space to give you a bunch of options. Because, like, The Sims 4, right? You can play it in 4K, and it scales up the UI for you. But you're like, man, I could have... They made it so where, you know, you have to click on your needs. You have to click on your aspirations. It no longer shows it all. Which is weird, because in The Sims 3 it did. And it looked fine, and it worked perfectly. And then they were like, we want less UI clutter. And you're like, it's a Sims game. You sign up for that.
Yeah.
And I need to know it. So I'm like clicking there. I'm like, oh, I missed that because I didn't know I was supposed to do that aspiration. Great. So with 4K, I have enough screen space. Please give it to me. It's a little silly. You know why I really got that, though?
Why?
Arma. I can see people from miles away. It feels a little cheaty. I'm going to say, and I'm glad because I think they know that. I think the guys who make the missions know that, because in the adversarials they usually make it like foggy, rainy, dark. One of those 3. And if it's way out in the open, we're close enough to see each other no matter what resolution you have. But on these co-ops where, you know, I was showing you that mountain co-op we were playing, and it's just miles and miles and miles away. I spotted them every single time. Only once did somebody spot them before me. It's because I was really bored looking at my feet. But I was like, I just zoom in and I'm like, 2,000 meters, Taliban. You know, and they're like, where? I'm like, this exact compass direction. They're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, you see that little tiny black speck on top of that little tiny white speck? That's a machine gunner. he's got this weapon. He's about this tall. I can specifically exactly tell you where he is. So it's pretty fun. It's been a pretty cool Mech Warrior 2. That's the first time in a long time where I've upgraded something on my PC and I think that's the first time since I was like 15 where I upgraded something on my PC and felt like, oh man, this gives me an advantage. Because when I was 15, Battlefield 2, I might have been 16 or 17, came out, and if you enabled shadows went through floors. So if you were on any floor, it casted a shadow. So like if you're on the top floor, it casted a shadow on every single level below you. This is just a stupid glitch, but whenever I entered a building, I could see exactly how many people that were there because I could see all the shadows on the ground. And I was like the only one who was playing who had shadows enabled because I happened to get my dad to buy just a video card. That's all I could get out of him was a video card to update my computer with. And I did. And I was like, king. I could see everything. I could actually use the full resolution my computer was capable of, which was like, 240p or whatever at the time. So 4K's been pretty fun. I've been pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I really want to get I want to get a 5K 1610 monitor, but I've been holding off on it. The review website that I use to pick out things, they have not recommended any monitors. Any 4K, 5K monitors yet.
This is the first 4K monitor I saw that came with completely good reviews. Every single time I've seen one,
the monitors are really good, but the reason why they couldn't recommend it is because the software and the graphics cards are, it's still they're not
yeah.
So you can get a graphics card that will run 4K, but you're like a lot of the high-end games that like you're not going to play Crysis 2 or whatever in 4K because your computer's...
You could totally play Crysis 2 4K. More modern, maybe, go with something newer.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've had...
Like
all of the games I have are indie games, all right? I don't have any of those.
Crysis.
You're not going to play Just Cause 12 in 4K, all right?
Just Cousins. How about Grand Theft Auto 5?
Sure.
A little dated, still newish.
Yeah, so because they're pushing the polygon count, they're pushing all that, so you're already stressing the graphics cards at 1080p.
Yeah.
And then you quadruple that to 4K. And of course at 4K you also have to do more anti-aliasing because
a lot more.
So it's like 32-bit or 32x passes probably is not enough at 4K. You need 64 or more. So they couldn't recommend it because on top of not being able to use it for any games, which is why you're probably going to buy a 4K, Windows also doesn't really scale to 4K. That's the one thing that Apple did really well. When they released, because they control everything, when they released the Retina displays, you don't set a resolution on an Apple computer. You set a UI scale. And so you're always running in 4K on a Retina display. And you're just deciding how big the UI is.
Yeah. Also, they use they use mathematical calculation, don't they? They don't use like texture size.
Huh?
Like rasterized versus.
Oh yeah, they use I can't remember SVGs. I don't remember what the word is, but it's a SVG, yeah.
Yeah, but it's because they calculate...
Vector graphics.
Yeah, vector, exactly. They calculate it out with math rather than just calling up a texture. That's a specific size.
I don't believe so.
Do they not? I don't know enough.
No, because when you make like iPhone apps and stuff like that, you include icons, and you include an icon for every size. Actually, I think nowadays you just include one icon. That is,
the two down.
Yeah, so you just include a 4K icon and they scale it down.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But that was one of the, so they released the Retina displays and then they said everyone, hey, update your apps. We've updated all of ours. Everything should have high res images. Everything should have images designed at 4K.
Yep.
And now everything looks nice because you can scale the UI, and so I need lots of room, so I'll go 100% UI, and everything is teeny tiny.
Teeny tiny.
And then you go, oh, I want 30%. or whatever, and it's woo big, and so you can make it still look fine and usable, but still be at 4K. But there's no games on Mac, so who cares?
Did you buy anything on the Steam sale?
No, but I've got some stuff. I've got some stuff on my wish list that I'm not going to be able to buy because, like Miguel, I'm broke.
I bought the cheapest DCS, Digital Combat Simulator, modules I could. I got the SU-27 and the MiG-29.
So much.
I do too. I have been scouring Craigslist for cheap joysticks. And
I'm going to bite the bullet and buy one, but that's like next year.
Dude, so for DCS, you got to drop like $100 at least on a joystick.
I was willing to spend more.
Okay.
Do you have a joystick port in your sound card?
Blank face.
I have
blank face. That's all I have for you.
Do you have a joystick port in your sound card?
I have a I think I still have it. I have a joystick that back in the day, joysticks were on the joystick port.
No, I know.
On your
that
sound card.
It was purple, wasn't it?
No.
I had one that plugged into a purple port.
It depends on your PC.
That was like
it didn't have a color
one.
code though. No. It's
Oh,
not circular.
no.
It's parallel.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah,
with all the little pins in it, right?
Yeah, it was like a 15-pin D-bus.
Yes, I had one of those also.
And it was always in your sound card because they had too much extra room in the sound card.
Yeah, at the time I didn't really recognize what was a sound card versus other things, but I think it was there right next to all the ports. Yes, I think I did have that.
I think I still have a joystick that works with the joystick port, but I don't have a joystick port.
PS2 joystick?
What?
You had a PS2 joystick? That's the port.
Oh, I guess so, yeah.
It's weird.
It was a very long time ago, but
That's not PS2.
The round purple?
It's called a D-sub. No, it's not a D-sub. What is it? Oh, I can't remember.
Viewers, let us know.
PS2 is a circular port, but you can't plug a joystick into that port.
Well, that's why I was asking why you had a round purple one. That's why I was curious as to what connection he's talking
and
about.
honestly, I was like 8 years old.
Round purple one? That's your mouse port. No, wait. Mouse port's green. That's your keyboard port.
Yeah, mouse port's green.
That's your
what
keyboard.
I was saying. It was a keyboard. But I could be wrong. I could be totally misremembering it.
You can't plug a keyboard or a joystick into that. You fool. You fool.
I think it was the one we were talking about. Okay. The one of the sound one.
Yeah.
It's been so long. Honestly, it's probably still somewhere. I could probably find it. I had this. Yeah, we had old game. We played Aces of the Pacific. Yeah. Literally single pixel planes that turned into 10 pixel planes. It was amazing. Anyways, yeah, that's all I bought. Spin tires and that's all I've purchased. I've been so good this time.
I've got Punch Club on my list. I really want to get Punch Club because that looks interesting. Have y'all seen Punch Club?
I have not.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then we won't go into that.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, I think Steam sale's over tomorrow anyways.
Yeah.
Talking about
I thought it
what's
was over
sale doesn't
on
really
the
matter.
5th.
It's over on the 4th.
Oh, okay.
It's over tomorrow at 10 a.m. the 4th.
Oh,
Today is his...
Yeah, I thought it was the 5th. Today's the 3rd. Yeah. Oh, well, I'm still not going to be able to do anything. So.
All right. Well, I think that's good stuff for our podcast, for our 4th of July Happy America Day podcast. I'm so far away in the bathroom. Don't worry about it.
Anno 2205 is another one that I really want to get.
Yeah.
Have you played any Anno games?
Yeah.
Do you like them?
They're very zen.
Yeah. You get to fight, hippies and vegans and
yeah. It's pretty funny actually.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna call it an episode here then.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else y'all want to say?
Nope. I'll have more stuff for next time, but
Plastics.
I'm making engines now.
Oh,
Factory idle. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I left it running for 2 weeks without touching it.
Oh no, I left it running for 2 weeks, but at very super inefficient.
Oh.
Everything's 100% inefficiency. I'm just not making a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I have like $100 million, but that's like nothing, right?
I make $1 million per tick now.
Oh gosh.
y'all need to get Factorio so we could play a real factory game.
No, I like
But
Factory
I
Idle.
like Factory Idle because I ignore it for 2 weeks.
Well, get Factorio so that we can play Factorio together.
But I want to just
just not pay
have
attention
Factory
to it.
Idle.
But I want to play Factorio with
Okay,
you
buy
guys.
Factorio for me.
How much is Factorio?
I don't know. Is it on Steam sale?
Next week, we'll tell you about our experiences with Factorio.
Or Factory Idle, if we're only playing that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening.
Goodbye.